Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
What are you doing?
This is the pig I've been sleeping with.
That's a duck.
I wasn't talking to you.
What does LGBTQ plus mean? Like, is it the premium version of gay?
Here's an actual customer out here. What's the best kind of firework to buy?
Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy?
Where are your parents? Kid's sketchy. Back to you guys.
Adam, do you want something to eat?
What are the choices?
Yes or fucking no?
Is there a Connie Lingus here? What about Anita Dickenming? Or Holden Middick? Okay. Are any three of those people here?
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
Dude, how are you the last one to show up to your own party? That is messed up. What party? Your birthday party. What are you talking about?
What are you doing?
What?
It's a surprise party.
Surprise party?
Are you drunk?
Of course I am. It's a party.
You guys can come out. Derek messed this up. Seriously.
I was wondering where all the cars were.
How stupid can you be?
Well, why don't you just say it's a surprise party?
There's people here to see you. Happy birthday. Thanks a lot, Derek.
Oh, happy birthday. I'm sorry.
Hola. Me llamo es Brian. Let's see. Nosotros queremos ir con ustedes.
That was pretty good. But actually, when you said me llamo es Brian, you don't need the ace. Just me llamo Brian.
Oh, you speak English?
No, just that first speech and this one explaining it.
You're kidding, right?
Okay.
Let me ask you something. When you come in on Monday and you're not feeling real well, does anyone ever say to you, sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays?
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
From Filthy Martini Studios in Ontario, California, it's the Foos Show!
Hey, what is up, everyone? I am Josie.
And I'm Steph.
Thank you all so very much for listening to the Foos Show, and a special thanks to you Foos who subscribe, rate, review, and share the pod with your fellow Foos. Remember to pick up some swag at FooBarShow.com. That's FOOBarshow.com, and follow FOO Bar Show on all of our socials, and we'll foo it up like a couple of Foos. Ain't that right, Steph?
Meow, meow.
Steph, I'm excited for today's show. You want to know why?
Why?
We went to this, we had a good day yesterday. We went to a few places. I was just going to mention one thing, but I want to talk about all the things that we did. Now, we went to, is it just considered LA or Hollywood? Where is this place?
We went to LA. It was LA,
right?
Yeah, it was LA.
It's by like the Arts District or the Arts Center or the Arts Square.
Yes,
I don't know.
was. There was a sign that said Arts District.
Yeah. And
Yes.
so there we went to a distillery.
Yes.
And how did you discover this place?
I saw it on Instagram, doom scrolling, and it was like what caught my attention was like it's sort of like a speakeasy type of thing,
You're
but you
right.
have to. I thought you had to know somebody, but you have to text a number, and then they ask you.
Because it says it's invite only.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they pretty much ask you a bunch of questions, and then if you're good to go, they will send you a link to as the invitation, and then you can schedule a date to come in from there.
So just for, after we explain this, if everybody's interested, I'll give it now, and then I'll give it at the end of the explanation. The phone number to text is 213-513-7521. So you want to text them hashtag the Obscure. And that's the name of the place, the Obscure over in LA. And it's pretty impressive what they've done. Now, I don't know too much about like the laws and shit like that, but apparently there was some shift in legislation when COVID went down where it allowed for a distiller to sell, to also be the bartender. So apparently the way they explained it was that there's like 3 tiers of how you get your alcohol. You got your people who, the manufacturer, the distiller,
right,
and you got the entity that pretty much pushes it, would be marketing, the logistics, transportation, all that. And then the 3rd tier is the actual bartender, or where you would consume it.
Yes.
And so that was law. That had to happen in that order for you to be able to grab a beer or a drink or anything like that. So something happened in COVID. I couldn't tell you specifically what. Maybe you guys can Google it and let us know. It's when you are just able to produce the alcohol and then sell it on site if you want to, or from your own kind of shop.
Yes.
Yeah. And that wasn't the case before, which is pretty dope. And so what makes this place unique as well is that it's the only place in California that is doing that.
Yeah.
Or at least they were the first.
Yeah, they really jumped on this. And it gives a pretty cool, like, almost gothic type of vibe to it.
It's like more like a medieval type of spooky
witchcraft,
vibe.
Like
There you
witchcraft.
go.
Yeah, there you go.
But from like, the Merlin times and shit.
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty fun.
It's nice. It's really cool. And like everything is always super dark. And so I think in the description, or at least in the instructions after you were invited and you paid the fee or whatever, they gave you some suggestions on how to dress, even because they told us to dress like as much black as possible.
Yeah, because I get it, because if you're like dressed in bright colors, it kind of pulls away from like that dark room dungeon aspect of it.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And so like we were into it. Like we were dressed in black. Yeah.
And they support like artists too. Like there was just some dude who apparently worked with Stan Lee for a long time, who was just up there on a pedestal kind of stage area, and he was just drawing something as if, Bob Ross was up there just kind of doing his thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't talking, he wasn't saying anything, but they had a camera on his work and was then being projected behind him on a larger screen. And then you can go up there and talk to him and maybe even buy one of his paintings.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope. But the bar was especially interesting. It was like, it was kind of that dungeon-y kind of feel to it, right? 'Cause it was like rocks.
It was like that.
Wall.
It was like a cobblestone.
Yeah, you go.
Type of backsplash, and then the unique glassware had that really nice feel to it. And then everybody. So before you even get in, they give you like a place card.
Yeah.
Which is a tarot card, and then that's where you're going to sit. So you're going to sit with other people on the same table.
Right.
You can be like magician.
And it might be because of the tier that you purchased, right? Because there was different tiers.
Well, yes, there were different tiers.
Okay.
However, when I noticed that the person checking us in kind of just pulled out a card at random and then just handed it to us.
I see.
So I don't know if that was like intentionally, like he had it in order in his pocket.
Oh, maybe.
But I just noticed that. So I was like, okay, we'll just sit here.
Yeah. And well, they do a pretty good job at kind of putting on a little bit of a show, which is also like a demonstration, or rather kind of some history behind the drinks, the spirits themselves that they create there. They make probably the best gin I've ever had, and I don't even like gin.
I know. It was actually really smooth and very flavorful to drink, rather than, the typical paint thinner type of gin that you get.
Liquid saran wrap shit that you would get at the store. So they make a gin, they make a brandy, and they make a whiskey rye.
Yes.
And all of these spirits are well over 50%. Well, not well over. I think they go as strong as 56, 57% alcohol, which is, if you're doing your math and your proofs, that's over 100 proof. Like it's like 112, 114 proof. And you remember when we used to set shit on fire with like Bacardi 101?
151?
151, I'm sorry. Yeah. So this stuff is flammable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or at least
Holy
it
shit.
could get up there. And it tastes flammable too. There's a sting to the nostrils when I took that gin. But then, they bring you like a little flight of the shot glasses with a bit of that spirit in there. They tell you not to drink it fast.
Yeah.
Because that could lead to dangerous consequences, at least. And then they bring you out a cocktail made with that spirit, and they give you a kind of like a little tour behind it, give you a story behind. Like they gave us a bit of a story behind old fashions, and this was pretty much they used the template of an old fashioned to make a gin-based old fashioned, which I thought was interesting in that first one that they gave us.
Yeah, and I really liked how the bartender came out and explained in detail like the drinks and stuff like that. You don't really get that from different experiencers or like these novelty bars. Usually you'll just get like a fancy cocktail and, you know, it'll make for a good Instagram picture. But like this was a full experience.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth it. And the nice thing is that when you know, if you're invited, if you get the link, then you prepay. So you don't have to worry about the bill when you get there.
There's no bill.
Yeah, there's no bill. Well, because you paid already.
Yeah, you already paid for it. But like, they're not also trying. I mean, yes, there's an opportunity for them to upsell you in, like, if you want to buy a bottle of these spirits, they're about like $75. There's also an opportunity to join a monthly membership there.
But
there's some perks that come with that.
But honestly, it was like.
But they don't push that.
No, it's just, you know, it's there, it's on display, and then you can inquire about it, and then that's when they tell you more about the membership and bottles and stuff.
Yep.
So
it was a really smooth and cool experience, and I just like the way that they explained it. And so far, I guess they're in season 1, which they didn't really explain, you know, how long these seasons are. We can only assume it's maybe like whenever they run out of their batches would be, because they're making those 3 cocktails. That's what they're showcasing. That's what they're teaching people about in their day-to-day shows, I would imagine. But you know, soon enough, I think he said in like August or after that, they were gonna start their season 2, which I would imagine means that they've made a new batch of something else.
Yeah, as soon as next month, I think is season 2, or like they'll probably start gearing up to launch it. So can't wait.
I like when the bartender was talking about, I think her name was Hope.
Yes.
A published author and everything. Like everybody kind of bragged about everybody's credits, which is pretty impressive because you know, at least you got some, you know, you have some competent people behind the bar and behind the whole idea and the experience behind the whole thing. Like they know what the hell they're talking about.
Yes.
But I like how she provided the story, or at least some history background of the old fashioned itself. And you know, it's like bitters. It all started with bitters and it being like a hangover cure back in the day. Like people didn't use bitters for cocktails because really cocktails hadn't existed back then, at least the way we know them now. So bitters was more like a potion to help you kind of get over your hangover. And everybody's heard the expression from Mary Poppins of, you know, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down because it was so bitter. You would take some of that bitters and then you take a little bit of sugar so, you know, it could help it all go down. And then she also proceeded to say that, you know, people would take it with, or at least, you know, it hasn't died down yet when somebody says, keep drinking, it'll help your hangover.
Yeah.
So they would put a little bit of whiskey in there too. And then they'd cut it down with some water. And back then, yes, it was a little bit of water, which ended up turning into an ice cube.
Yes.
And then somebody they gave it to the bartenders. They went nuts with it. And it became a drink that people were ordering daily, like even during the day or, you know, after lunch or before dinner. And then they got fancier with it. And now we have the cocktails in that variation that we know of today. But that's where it all stemmed from, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
You get those like long ass explanations that are very interesting, and then you get to drink them, and I was buzzed as all hell afterwards.
They're strong.
They're really strong.
So overall, you get 3 spirits and 3 cocktails. Well, that's a lot in just, you know, an hour and a half sitting.
Yeah.
It's just, ooh, boy, you better take it slow.
And I like that they control the pace of everybody drinking them.
Yes,
with their storytelling and, you know,
they
having
give
you smell it.
They give you ample time to finish the cocktails in between the first set, second set, and then in between the second set and third set, it's a longer wait time before they serve it up. And I think they did a really good job at that.
Yeah, and you know, this place can only grow more. In fact, they said that they're still building stuff to make an upstairs room
There is, yeah. So there's 2 time slots. We did the earlier time slot because we were going to do something else after, or just hang out in LA. But next time, I think we'll do like the evening spot and see what that's all about. If this, if
there's a difference,
if the upstairs opens up as well,
Yeah, I'd like to go back, and in fact, I'm considering that membership option, just because, and it's like something like $10 a month. And let me see if I can pull up any perks that are shown in that link. It's actually a QR code that I scanned on the way out.
But this place is right now it's a little bit of a smaller spot.
Oh yeah, it's a really small spot.
So if you're going with a large group of people, you might not sit together, or you might just take up an entire table. And
here we go. I found it. It's the level 1 membership is what is currently being offered, open to attendees of season 1 only. This membership allows access to the bar outside tasting hours. Restrictions and blackout dates might apply, and it includes bar access for you and 3 other guests, classes, events, and activities, members only dining. That's dope. $10 bottle discount, which means that they'd be $65 instead of $75, which is more intriguing. And then it unlocks future levels, and you can just kind of keep building from there. And then, so if you're a level 2 member, eventually, when season 2 starts, you can get access to the new spaces that they're building in that place.
Yeah,
and you can get access to the expanded drink menu. So that's pretty dope.
I'm definitely excited for this place, and I'm going to be following them for a while, seeing their progress. Considering they're very new to the game.
It's a cool spot to like take to surprise somebody with and take for like their birthday or something.
Yeah.
Or just, that's a good first date place. That's for sure. If that's what you are trying to accomplish here, whatever. Like it's a nice way to spend a couple of hours in LA.
It really is.
Yeah, it was nice.
Because it takes you away from like the industrial kind of area.
Right. It gets you drunk.
Yeah, I didn't get you drunk.
Yeah. But then after that, you got something else?
So right next to it, and so if you're a fan of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the door to Patty's Pub that they film at is actually just right around the corner from the Obscure location.
And that's where you went.
And that's where we went, and we took a picture there. Snap.
Yeah, and that's all it is. It's just the door.
It's literally just the door. That's just been...
That's all it is.
They take all the decorations down when they're not filming the outside.
Right. It's just, the brick wall and the green door.
Yep.
That's all it is. Cool. And then so after that, we weren't counting on doing this, but we ended up going to the BMO, the BOM. BOM?
BMO?
Bank of Montreal. BOM Stadium right there in front of the Coliseum where the LAFC plays their home games, and they were playing San Jose, and fucking G-Baby hits us up.
Hey!
And he's like, hey, where you guys at? We're like, oh, we're going to the Speakeasy, and they were hoping to join us there, but I'm like, oh, it's invite only, like, stay away. You know? I didn't mean to sound like a dick, but they couldn't get in. And so... but he's like, well, we're gonna hit up an LAFC game, and then he proceeds to tell me like a little bit after that he has like 3 extra free tickets that nobody's using, and he invited us down, and I'm like, oh shit, free tickets to a soccer game? That sounds like fun. And so I've been to a few soccer games myself, so I'm already kind of familiar with like the type of hooliganism and cheerleader kind of aspect to soccer, or futbol, depending on how you want to call it. And Steph, it was your first time.
That was my first time.
What did you think?
I thought it was pretty fun.
It was fun, right?
Yeah. Not only did we have like really good seats, but
they were the second row.
I know. It was amazing. Like you could see everything from that field.
Yeah.
But the added bonus of like the hooligan section was pretty tight. Like I didn't expect there to be
cheering
the entire game. I thought, maybe
singing
they'll
songs there.
They even had drums. They had flags waving. They had hype men, like 3 different sections. And I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Maybe they'll like sing for a couple and then kind of die down and then, rally up again here and there.
Nope.
No, it was nonstop for 90 plus minutes.
Right. Even during halftime, they were still going at it.
Oh, yeah. And then like after halftime, the shirts started coming off, and I was just like, "Oh, here we go."
Yep, the alcohol was kicking in.
Yeah. Then they had like
and one of the higher up sections, or I guess that would be more that'd be their section, right? Is where we went. We went to their section briefly to get $5 beers.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Pretty dope. So I got 2, you got 2, and I drank all of them. Well, you drank 1.
I drank 1.
Yeah. That was fun, man. And then, lo and behold, G-Baby's like, yeah, it's my birthday. I'm like,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, man. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Kind of a pleasant surprise. Always nice hanging out with G-Baby. So,
and then we went to the taco spot.
Oh, there was a taco spot not far from there. That was dope.
Oh, my God, so good.
It was like al pastor tacos, and they are not shy with giving you a piece of that pineapple that drips on the meat when it's on the trompo. Fucking dope.
Oh, such good tacos.
Yeah. But we had a good time. I thought I haven't had a good time like that in a little while.
Yeah.
And I got pretty intoxicated.
We did take a morning recovery, though.
Yeah, that helped.
Like a midday break. Oh, okay. Let's go to 7-Eleven, get some morning recoveries.
Those work. Those work, by the way.
They were quick, too.
Yeah, a little food for thought for anybody looking to get shit-faced. Go to a 7-Eleven or wherever, like Bevmo. They'll carry them there, the morning recoveries.
Yeah, there's that's the specific brand is a morning recovery.
Right. Yeah. And there's an option for no sugar, which is the one that I get. But if you take it before, during, or after you're getting shit-faced, it works. It helps you pretty much prevent the hangover the following morning. And I didn't have one this morning. So mission accomplished.
It was nice.
Yeah, for sure. Anyhow, Steph, anything else?
No, it pretty much recaps our weekend.
Yeah. Our personal minutia there, huh?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Well, let's get into geeking out. There's no music today, so we're just gonna geek out pretty hard on a few things that we wanted to talk about. For example, Superman has a new series out. We've got Oppenheimer and Barbie being released this week, and a couple other things. You want to get into it?
Let's go.
What's up, Steph?
What's up?
So,
did you hear about Anime Expo last week?
I remember you saying that some shit was going down on the first day there, and people were pissed.
Right. Well, in classic Anime Expo fashion, which is not the first time this has happened.
And it's happened here in Ontario was the last time it happened like this, right?
No, that was Animanga.
Sorry, excuse me.
It was supposed to be the smaller version of Anime Expo, which I've complained about so many times, and I've tried posting about it on social media only to get blocked and kicked from the actual Animanga. And I was just like, "Are you fucking serious?" And then I
don't want to hear it.
I actually wrote to a newspaper, and then I gave them all this information that was happening. And then did they do anything? No. Anyway, so
they weren't going to stop the presses for you, Steph.
No, but I actually researched the guy who actually, it was so easy to find the creator, promoter of Animanga.
Kind of like a grifter guy?
It was, it's some businessman that doesn't know how to do business right and, doesn't care about people and only getting money.
Well, back then it was more of a big deal because of the being 6 foot apart with the COVID thing going on.
That was 2021. And yes, we all knew what we were getting into. But at that point, most of us had been vaxxed and we were all still wearing masks.
They required that people were vaxxed, no?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And so you just had to, wave your little flag and then go in with the masks. Mm-hmm. Fine. Oh, no, but we almost died because it was shoulder to shoulder, jam-packed. People were dying in the hot sun. So back to Anime Expo. This was held at the LA Convention Center, and in classic Anime Expo fashion, they oversold the tickets.
That sucks. I'm looking at a picture right now, and everybody's packed in like a sardine can. We go there annually for the LA Comic Con, and you can at least get away from a fart. There's no getting away from a fart here.
Oh no! And it's so if you're familiar with the LA Convention Center or just conventions, at this particular location,
Yeah.
there's 2 levels. The first floor is like security and you're getting in, and that's where all the cosplay stuff usually is. And there's usually lots and lots of space for people to walk around, take a breath, sit down if they need to, and then just have a good time with the cosplayers.
Or even fart.
Yeah. And then the second floor is usually reserved for all the tables, the autograph signings, all the booths, comics, apparel, stuff like that. The wait to get into Anime Expo was like over 4 hours long just to get in, just to bypass security. So somebody had posted online a video of him trying to get in just through security, just to get into the first floor. And it was like the line was in the parking lot. In the parking lot.
Yeah. And the parking lot really isn't that close to the entrance.
No. No.
Yeah, for those who aren't familiar with the convention center, kind of off to the side there, they share it with Staples Center, which is now Crypto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still going to be Staples Center to me. Yes. No, actually, the LA Convention Center has its own parking, but there is a separate parking lot.
Oh,
that's
an overflow.
Right.
You're
Yes,
right.
yeah.
Yep.
Right.
They have an underground for sure.
And then, so you get in, and then you're just packed in, shoulder to shoulder, immovable.
Yeah,
so
you can't
hot.
move around.
And it's like so hot. All the body heat. Like, I don't know. People were passing out. They were not having a good time. I don't even know how these people did it.
Right.
Like, there's videos that just say, help, help. You can, because, people cosplay, and then most of these anime characters have like giant weapons.
Right.
You're thinking that you're going to carry it around and you're going to show
Wield
it off.
Yeah.
Now you're stuck in the sardine can.
Right. Can't do that.
Nope. It's nuclear warfare.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, chemical warfare. Just a few blurbs from Yahoo News. Although the final day of Anime Expo wasn't crowded, one person says she couldn't walk the convention floor without feeling suffocated.
Yeah, I
it's
can
like
imagine.
the last day. That sucks, dude.
So this only happened on the first day?
It happened multiple days. So the first day was the worst.
Okay.
Or actually, yes, the worst. And then it got progressively better, but still, it's not like you can move around freely.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine those bathroom lines. What if you were outside waiting 4 hours just to get in? Like, fuck, now I need to find a bathroom. And then that wait time is like 2 hours.
This one's called the Dyson.
You know what that reminds me of? Remember that video?
Yeah, that's actually what this audio is.
Oh, shit.
Of this guy who washes his hands and proceeds to turn around to then dry his hands on what you would think would be like one of those Dyson hand blowers. And it's just a guy hanging off the wall with his ass out and just proceeds to fart on his hands while the guy doesn't, bat an eye and just, rubs his hands together. That, my friend, is the Dyson. You were saying, Steph?
How am I supposed to follow up?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Everybody was packed in like a sardine. You
Dude,
definitely
it
could
sucks.
not pull off a Dyson in there. That's for sure.
Oh, no.
It'd be a bad time.
No. Oh, my God.
These poor bastards. I mean,
Yeah.
why would you? But, I get it.
Not only, okay, so I have to ask you a serious question.
Huh?
Who do you think smells worse? Anime fans or comic book fans?
Oh, wow. And, well, there's some crossover there. There's a lot of crossover with manga.
Yes. But generally speaking, if you were going to keep those two genres very separately.
Yeah.
What do you
know what? You know what? I would imagine that and this is no slight on any race. I'd like to at least start with that.
Oh, I didn't even mention that.
Anime folks tend to be hairless. So, with that being said, the less hair there is, the less funk there is.
Okay.
That's my reasoning.
I can see that.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So unfortunately, us comic book fans are the stinkier bunch.
The just made it. Yeah.
That is the you just closed the door, pulling down your pants, already coming out.
Yeah, it was already groundhogging on the way in.
You know what? Sometimes I have like almost near emergency situations when I have to pee.
Oh, this one's called the misfire.
Oh no.
A lot more than that. Okay. Well, what else you got, Steph?
Okay. Anime Expo done.
I teased a new series with Superman. Did you want to go into that? We just finished watching the first 2 episodes, and I guess they're going to be releasing one every Friday. So the next episode's coming out Friday the 14th.
Yes. So we got 2 episodes that premiered July 7th, which is
what's the name of the show?
It is My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah, and for those who are fans of
Invincible
on Prime, right?
Fucking snap at me.
It's the same. I can remember. It's the same kind of animation. And you mentioned that it also reminded you of the Jackie Chan Adventures animation from way back when.
Right, because
yeah, it is that style.
So My Adventures with Superman, has your favorite trio, Lois, Clark, and Jimmy. Mm-hmm. All running amok. It's another origin story. So they start from the very beginning
of him moving to Metropolis and getting his first day as an intern over at the Daily Planet.
Yeah, so he's not really looking for a job because I think they're still in school. He's just an intern, and hoping for the best.
And Jack Quaid does the voice for Clark and Superman. Alice Lee does Lois, and Ishmael Saeed does Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah. If you recognize Jack Quaid, you know that name. He's also in The Boys.
Yeah, he's the main character in The Boys. So,
Huey.
Yeah, he's Huey. So, I mean, I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was cool seeing, how Superman or Clark finds out about his origin and powers and shit like that. It's kind of a different perspective while still keeping it pretty true to the story. I thought.
Yeah, they do definitely like modernize it a little bit more.
Yeah. They're using cell phones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's fun. It's lighthearted. And let's see.
Yeah, because they're still like young kids and he's figuring himself out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see where they take this.
Yeah. And it's got to be endorsed by the new regime for DC, like James Gunn and all that. It has to be, right? Or otherwise it wouldn't be. It's on Max right now, and it's on Adult Swim.
Yeah,
it's probably one of the Elseworlds of DC.
Yeah, of course it is because he's a younger Superman, so that's what we're getting here. So yeah. Approved.
Pretty dope.
So far with the first 2 episodes, so give it a try.
Keep
on
watching.
Max and Adult Swim. Let's see what else do we got over here.
Well, you didn't pull it up, but I'll just speak to it because I've been seeing it all over the internet. I don't know if you've heard of people. I guess the question is, what are you going to watch first this weekend? Are you going to watch Barbie or are you going to watch Oppenheimer? And
this weekend? You mean next weekend?
Well,
because Oppenheimer comes out on the 21st.
Oh, okay. So next weekend. My bad. But yeah, they're supposed to be coming out on the same day, and so the entire population is torn. And I guess you got to pick your faction, but it's not that everybody's warring with each other. It's just who do you? The point is that you're going to watch both, and which one are you going to watch first? And even then, I think I saw Margot Robbie and what's his nose. Ryan Gosling and her director got tickets to Oppenheimer, and everybody wants for Cillian Murphy and his director to get tickets to Barbie and take a picture. They want that to happen.
Crossover.
So, yeah, a little crossover. So it's definitely been like a fun crossover promotion that whoever thought about this, I'm sure it's working. Because it's definitely creating buzz for both of these movies that are like very different from each other.
A lot of people are going to do a double feature. But like you said, which one do you watch first?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm like super excited for Barbie.
Is it supposed to be like a legit comedy? I mean, I heard you got Will Ferrell, Adam Ray, Michael Cera we saw in the preview, but you got like a lot of people in here that are going to make it pretty funny. So I'm looking forward to it being a funny movie.
Oh my God. And then you have Oppenheimer, which, by the way, we just learned has no CGI.
Right.
It's all practical effects.
So he actually got an atom bomb, Steph, took it to the desert, and set it off.
Well, they probably set it off on a smaller scale.
No, it wasn't an A-bomb. But yes, he got a very large explosive and zoomed in, and it looked like an A-bomb, which was dope.
Yeah.
Or it created the effects of like the really bright lights and shit like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see not only when the movie comes out, but when like the DVD comes out or Blu-ray or whatever we're doing now.
Is that
digital,
what we're doing? I haven't bought a DVD in years. It's been at least 10 years.
I want to see
You got a VHS now with this?
commentary on each one of these scenes and how they do like the background, like, oh, in this scene, this is how we did it, blah,
like
blah,
a
blah.
how-to?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I would be dope.
I haven't even seen the movie. The movie hasn't even come out yet, and I already want to see the commentary on this movie.
Who owns HBO now? Discovery?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do a documentary now that, because like you said.
They're probably already out, just, on reruns. Because we don't have Discovery Channel. Like if we had
No,
like,
but I mean
people.
like the making of this, they'll probably air it on that or something. Now that they're all like one family. Because I was going to say we don't have DVDs anymore. Who buys DVDs anymore? Well, that's what I'm saying.
People that don't-
They're going to want to repurpose the making ofs for shit like that.
I mean, you would be surprised that there's still a lot of parts that don't have great internet service, so they resort to DVDs.
All right, well.
Yeah, like the mountains.
You know what I got to say about that?
Does that say the Royal Ripper?
That's called the Royal Ripper, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
I mean, it could be more royal.
Anyway, how so? That thing was majestic.
Farts in high English. Anyway, Oppenheimer. There is a format guide for the aspect ratios that they have released because it was filmed in such a way to give you the full effect of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the standard one? That's what I don't know.
Well, standard isn't that just like a 16:9 or one of those other ones like?
So the widescreen is you're gonna have the 35 millimeter or the 2.31 or 2.39 to 1 ratio. That's the standard widescreen.
Okay.
Then you're gonna get the digital version, which is the 2.20 to 1, which is the 70 millimeter.
Yeah, and it gives you a little bit more. Like it's a little wide, not wider, but it's a little
taller.
The screen is just slightly. But then the IMAX one, the first IMAX one, you get a little bit more space with it. That's a 1.90 to 1 IMAX Xenon single dual laser aspect ratio. But if you really want to get down on some Oppenheimer and just get the entire thing that they shot, what's this last one?
So this is the 1.43 to 1 IMAX 5 to 70 film dual laser. 15 to 70 film dual laser.
Yeah.
And so that is going to give you the largest, widest, longest, whatever you want to call it, the most out of the screen.
1.43 to 1 is very close to a 4:3 ratio, and a 4:3 ratio is how TVs used to be back in the day, like your tube TVs before we all went digital and widescreen. So it's not quite there, but if you do the math, it's pretty much the almost there. And so it does give you kind of like that aspect ratio and perspective of a movie that would have been shown on TV back then. So it kind of adds to that experience, I thought.
And I like that specific detail that Christopher Nolan does with his films because he's known to have like these bigger aspect ratios. We've seen it in, Batman, or we've seen it in some of the other films. Inception, I think they did that.
He did it on all of them.
Yeah.
He did a little piece of IMAX for all of them, and it was pretty dope.
Yeah. So this is the biggest one. And so if you're in California, there are only a handful of theaters that will give you the biggest aspect ratio.
Yeah.
And one of them is in Ontario. In Edwards, Ontario, it's the IMAX right there in Ontario Mills.
Yeah. And I've been there. I've seen Watchmen there. I saw the Dark Knight there. I've seen a couple other movies, and it's a big fucking screen, man. That thing is huge. That's been there forever too. It's been there for a really long time, decades. And when IMAX started becoming more mainstream, and they started adding IMAX screens to you just saw them everywhere now. I was always disappointed because the bar was set high with IMAX when I used to go to this specific one because it's huge. Not only is it huge, but like it's kind of stadium seating to like it feels like you're in a fucking stadium.
Yeah. I was like awestruck the first time I was there.
Yeah. It says it seats 480 people.
It's huge. The screen size itself is 67 feet by 89 feet.
Yeah.
It's huge. Other places in California, you're going to get Oakland at the Shabbat Space and Science Center, San Francisco, AMC Metron, Universal City at the City Walk.
Shitty Walk.
Irvine, Dublin, Fresno, and Sacramento. So those are the only places California to get the biggest aspect ratio.
Yeah, if you're lucky enough.
Not Oakland. Oakland has the 87 format. So
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Okay. Dope. If you're fortunate enough to be near one of these cities, go do it. I mean, it seems like it's going to be super worth it. Yeah. I mean, our Ontario one, I just finished saying that it's been there for a while. I see that it opened up in March of 1997.
Yeah.
So it's one of the oldest ones. The oldest one is the one in Irvine, 1996. But this one is slightly... It is the largest one by 1 foot. And the next one would be Irvine.
It would be the Irvine one.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. San Francisco is the largest one at
75. 75.6 by 97.6.
I'd like to go to that one, the next one. We're up there.
Let's go.
Or probably won't be there for a while.
San Francisco definitely has the biggest one because it seats 600 people.
Fuck. Wow. All right. Wow. I'm down. One of these days. And they opened up in 1999. So a lot of these... Okay, so that goes to show that like the first IMAX ones were huge, or at least made with that idea that it's going to be like that stadium style of experience.
Yeah, and people thought they were crazy. Oh, you're crazy. Nobody's going to enjoy this.
But it's funny how they pivoted, because I guess you had to retrofit a lot of these existing theaters with the space that they already had allotted to them. So you're not going to add a larger stadium-esque type of place to it.
Well, not only that, but you have to build in the sound system for it.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And that's its own thing.
My goodness. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
So what would you watch first? Barbie or Oppenheimer?
I think that I would start off with Oppenheimer because I want to still be awake. I want it to be early in the day where I'm not going to fear that this probably 3+ hour movie is gonna, after a long day of work, is gonna put me to sleep. Not to say that I expect it to be boring. It's just I don't want to fall asleep because I'm getting older now and tend to fall asleep at movies.
You're just an old man now.
And then Barbie can give me a good laugh, and it's Margot Robbie. You got all the eye candy you can need, and you got Ryan Gosling,
and it's pink.
Yeah. It's funny. I saw a thing on Instagram earlier today where they swapped the color filters. You know how like Barbie is that bright pink pastel? They swapped it with Oppenheimer and gave it the nice pink pastels. I don't know how you're going to find it. But just imagine that, those filters swapping. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Let me see if it pops up.
Yeah. And
nope.
We just got a bunch of pink shit. Anyway, was that a pink atom bomb detonation that I saw?
I have no idea. So Oppenheimer is 3 hours and 9 seconds.
Okay, so 3 hours. 3+ hours. I was right. What else you got?
Oh man, I don't know what I would watch first. I'm still on the fence because I love Barbie.
You're gonna watch what I watch.
I love Barbie so much. Like I just want to watch it. But then Oppenheimer, I don't know. I feel like I would just be too tense. So I think I would agree with you in the fact that I would watch Oppenheimer first and then just kind of like stress relieve, because that movie's so intense.
Yeah.
And
you can let your guard down. Mm-hmm. You can.
And then Barbie's all cheery.
Out one of these.
Oh no, I'm gonna be doing that silently.
Oh God. The ones that hiss are the worst.
Tassie fart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you.
What's in that Reddit tab up there, Steph?
Oh, that's the Oppenheimer
No, the
aspect
other one.
ratio. It's just the image.
Oh,
is bigger.
interesting. All right. Well, I guess we got a short one today. What else?
Well, what?
What? I didn't.
What?
I didn't.
What?
Nope. What?
What?
No, what did you want to say?
We just finished The Bear.
Oh, right, The Bear. Probably one of the best soundtracks to any show I've seen in a long time, too. Only because there's a lot of Pearl Jam involved.
There's a Pearl Jam in almost every single episode.
Yeah,
Almost.
pretty dope. Man, that fucking show is chaotic.
Yeah.
It really triggers your flight and flight response, doesn't it?
There's one episode in the second season, which I think is like episode 5 or 6, where it's just nothing but arguing at a dinner.
At a family dinner gathering thing.
And they're not even trying to listen to each other. They're just constantly talking over, getting louder. And there's just the agitation. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's very stress-inducing episode. And then I'm not gonna give it away, but the punchline at the end, the climax of the whole fucking thing was like, holy shit!
Yeah.
And then it cuts to credits.
I was just like, what the fuck just happened?
If you're not caught up with The Bear, you're fucking up. It's a really good show. It's well shot. That last episode was impressive, as stressful as it was watching it. For those who haven't, or maybe those who are willing to go back and watch it again, that like first half of that episode was like one shot.
Yeah, there was almost no jump cuts.
Yeah.
Or transitional
Until you
scenes.
saw like the receipt printer
Yes.
start to, get going, and then it cut to that.
And I think they did that on purpose because that episode was so intense that they couldn't cut your attention from what was happening. You just had to like follow what was happening in the kitchen.
But it traveled throughout the entire restaurant.
Yeah.
To different people around there.
Oh, amazing show.
It was their version of, how like in the Avengers, the first Avengers, where it shows each character fighting, the camera follows them. That was that version of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it was dope. So watch The Bear, but take your anxiety pills before you do so, because you're gonna need them. But what else, Steph? Is that gonna do it?
Oh, we I guess Witcher is out. I haven't started that.
Okay.
And we finished Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth is good.
Yes.
Watch Sweet Tooth. It's a ridiculous premise, but it's good at least.
It'll keep you entertained.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's an interesting take on an apocalyptic type of world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and why things happen the way they did. Some of it's a bit campy, but if you're patient with that, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the last 3 episodes were like really good, so we just like watched them back to back.
A lot of action on those, yeah. We're good. Watch them.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, do yourself a favor there. I think that's it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And that's going to do it for the show, too, man. Now, how many more episodes do we have left before we take the old hiatus there? At least the planned hiatus.
I think we have maybe 3?
3 more? When do you start school? August
14th. So the second week.
So we got a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll give you a couple more episodes.
Yeah, we'll probably stop. Maybe the last one of July would be the last episode then.
I think we can squeeze one more in.
Maybe. No promises.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You'll get what we give you.
Right. Well, come on back next week. Probably. So that we can do this shit over again. Thank you all so very much for listening into the Foo Bar Show, and a special thanks to you Foos who subscribe, rate, review, and share the pod with your fellow Foos. Remember to pick up some swag at FooBarShow.com. That's FOOBarshow.com, and follow FOO Bar Show on all of our socials, and we'll boo it up like a couple of Foos. I've been Josie.
And I'm Steph.
Signing off saying, don't be a dick!
Fuck, man. Thank you, guys.
speed, Spider-Man.